What's going on, guys? So today on this Shoky review, we're going to be taking a look at something new, and it is something called an X board. And well, as you can see here, I have my kind of latest Flame Toys builds out here, including good old Thundercracker. And the main reason I got this is because it is a stand, and now Flame Toys has been marketing them. And in fact, if you buy the pre-painted version of IDW Prime, I believe you actually get these. So I don't think it's like theirs, so to speak, but they're definitely partnered with them. So with the X board, it said create various scenarios, and you got a new design base with extraordinary features. Honestly, they're kind of ordinary features, if I'm honest. But more flexibility, more fun, more creativity. And then you come to the back and you see an image of the stand. All transparent parts are detachable. Yay. A standing pole can be moved along the track. Yeah, center position can be decorated with your own something. It's covered by Bluefin label. But it's coming from D4 Toys, which is the main distributor of Flame Toys. So, I mean, it makes sense. And I did pick this up from Gundam Planet, if you saw it in my last In the Kitchen video. And, of course, I want this for my Flame Toys kits. Especially the Flyboys, who need a way to hold themselves up. Now, these things should be very similar to Gunpla stands, but maybe somewhere closer in the realm of things from, say, Figwarts or Figurize, something like that. Not a Bandai product, but it seems very similar in nature. Okay, so that's all it is in there. So this is everything that comes in the box, and literally it's that size, so that's kind of cool. Then you have, whoa, I thought that was encased. So you have the arm here, which already comes assembled. That's something. I'll give them credit for that. Not a lot of places do that. Now, I will say the one limitation it does appear to have is the fact it's only a claw arm, though this does seem to have okay friction. So you got some things here, and I guess if I need to, I can tighten or loosen that. And then it does rotate at the base. That's good. That does look like it'll lock in place very nicely. And then the claw does rotate. There's some decent friction there. Like, the joints are pretty stable, and they're not, like, keyed or ratcheted, so that's a good thing. Alright, so let's get the base out here. Base. Oh, it was a clamshell. Oh, save that. That'd be good for custom stuff. Good flat piece of clear plastic is generally a good thing. Alright, so we do have some incredibly basic instructions, both in Japanese and English. Take out the transparent bars. Take out any of the transparent bars. Okay, so you've got 4 transparent bars and a transparent center. Now, the one thing I mentioned before was that this is a super prime candidate for some lighting. I mean, being that these are all translucent bits here, you could easily just attach LED here, here. You know, you could probably pull it off with just 4 LEDs. 8 would probably be best. I mean, if you had like super small LED strips and wanted it to be super bright, you could pull that off. But I mean, look at the gaps you have down here. They leave plenty of room for wiring. Now, this is referring directly to using the track, but my question was, can I use these holes? But I'm starting to think no is the answer. So it means you have to have it on a track. Okay, so let's see here. Take out any of the transparent bars, insert transparent bar onto the bottom of the board. Alright, so let's just, it's identical in every direction, so let's just pull that off. That was super easy. I guess you just install it right on top of one of the previous ones, huh? Huh, look at that. Okay. Double that up. And there's actually enough. The funny thing is, there's enough room in there you could insert a chip. That's the other thing, is that if you have like some chip LEDs, you could just line it. That would be interesting. Okay, so you want me to pull this apart from what I saw. Oh, I guess, how about this? You can just plug that in there too. So if you want a diagonal bit, you can. But you can tell it's meant to be a certain way. But that's one thing I was concerned about. Alright, how does this come apart? Let me look. Step 1. Enlarge. I don't know what that means. Okay. Is that 2 separate pieces? Uh, yeah, enlarge would be something that would be great. You know, actually enlarge the thing so I can see what I'm talking about. Oh, look at that! You can pull off the claw and it can plug into their crotch holes. Nice, nice. Okay, so in theory, this comes apart somehow. Get a spudger, spudgerino. Oh, oh, it's keyed. Okay, that's interesting. So once again, super hard to see what's happening here. So this goes in this slot like that. I guess it doesn't matter what direction, and then you grab this guy and just, well, do your damnedest to slide it back on. But that sort of, oh, okay, well, it's just not meant to go all the way down. Or maybe it was just the way I put it on. Okay, yeah, I didn't put it on right. But that, oh, wow, that is a super tight fit. Nice, okay. So, let's see here. Pretty simple use. Now, I mean, it's some sturdy plastic. I do believe, yeah, you can remove the center section. You can remove any of these bits. It would be nice if you could have like a cut piece like this set in there. I guess in theory, you could always customize that, remove like the center section here and just fill in the bits. If you're going to leave it in a permanent spot, like say you want this totally centered, which would be pretty much right there, and then you just fill in the other bits. That's cool. All right, so let's try it out here. Let's try it out on the blue flyboy. We'll try the claw first. The claw, because I need these boys to be flying. Oh yeah, it holds up the weight pretty nice. Also, the fact, you know, I need Bumblebee to be able to fly, so that's not bad. Like just trying to grip the body. I mean, like it's balanced funny, so that's just up to you on whether or not you want to use the claw. And it did show like in some of the promotional things, like turn that sideways, and they're having like prime supported. Oh, it's funny because you can actually have them like Superman side flying. Like, it's not. There you go. Find a good balance. That's hilarious. Not gonna lie. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's try it out on a non-flyboy, so to speak. I like the idea that it's just supportive, if nothing else. So if you're having any issues with them wanting to stay upright, you could always just add one in for some extra support. You don't have to have them flying, so to speak. And plus, it just gives them a cool base to stand on. Let's just be honest here. Okay, so I need to wiggle his hip up, put that back together, and so that will give you just a good way to help good old primer stand up. Now, of course, you can use it to help support him if you want to get him in more of an action pose. Like he's wanting to take off. So that's just, he's not standing. It's actually really just holding him ever so gently. That's cool. That's real cool. Not gonna lie. I like that. So, last but not least, let's do Bumblebee, but we'll put him on the flight stand. Yeah, see, just proof. He definitely was not standing on that. I guess I could fix his leg there. Hold on. Stay. He's very creaky. Creaky boy. Alright, so let's just pull this off. Wow. Like I said, the joints are pretty sturdy, so let's really try it out with Bumblebeaver. I hate myself for saying that now. Oh, look at that. Okay. So, Bumblebee, who needs, in this case, wants to fly, you can get him up here. And the only thing is that now, if they have a wobbly torso, there's no torso help. So that's something you gotta consider. But it is a super snug fit, unlike the Gundam stand I was using, which was, it's around about the right size, but just not super sturdy. But this is cool. All right, and then these are 12 or 13 bucks. So I mean, it's a little pricey for what you get, but for like say a master grade 1/100 stand, or like figure-eyes or Figuarts stands are gonna be probably 10 or so, and those are set up in a more, let's see, how do I put this, less ubiquitous, I would say. Now, of course, there's no linking, like you can't connect the bases from what I can see, but given that there's 4 rails, if you buy enough of them, you have extra upright stands. You can put multiple things on the same base, if I could guess. And then, of course, you do have the holes. So, I mean, you don't have to use the track specifically. So if you want to use the holes and then have everything else light up, that's up to you. And I was saying that it's square, but the center is not. So this is actually oblong down here. And it was talking about you can put whatever you want there. So I kind of hope that somewhere down the line, maybe they do like an Autobot symbol or something like that. I think that would look pretty cool. I guess one thing I could do is, like, if there was a big enough like Autobot sticker, just blonk right there, that would be pretty neat, and then light it up or something. That'd be cool. So do a whole bunch of them. Now I'm really considering doing a whole different display situation for all of these guys. I'm going to look into that at IKEA. Hopefully I got to look at it again, see if they actually have the thing I need. They only had one the other day, so I'm going to double check before I head down there. But I wanted to get a much smaller shelf situation and have these guys displayed individually on their own on an individual small like shelf, and to keep them all from having to stand, which some of them, such as Starscream or my earlier attack mode primes, are all having some issues with polycaps. Giving them any kind of support like this will definitely help. Mind you, the last few, like this guy and that one, most of the joints and stuff are painted, so they're a bit more supportive of themselves, so to speak. But being able to, say, like, get these guys in an action pose that they don't have to try to stand purely on whatever little bit is there is great. And then, of course, having flight stands for guys like this and the Jet Boys. Let's see here. Let's test the limits, so to speak. Okay, so you can get out about that far, and then it starts to wander, but you can get it up pretty high. And then, of course, if you wanted it in a fixed position, you could always just take it apart and glue it in a position you want. But like, it's good. I mean, I would suggest, at least for this part, given that it's a single long peg going up in there, just try to be wary. But I like it. So I'm going to end up probably investing in a bunch of these. And I wonder... Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to just try something out just real quick. Let me try to get B off the stand here. That is quite a snug fit, so just be wary. That's going to be real snug. Alright, so I need to order, like, at least enough for the ones that I have, and then maybe 2 more for the future. But I wanted to see how it compares to a Gundam stand. Let's see if it would even fit in an HG. Just barely. Like, that is a super tight fit. But it works. It goes in there. It probably might work for a Figure-eyes. So here's a Kamen Rider who just face planted. Good job. Good job, Geo. Can't hold your damn weapons. Alright, so because of course he needs the adapter for the booty. Let's see how well this works. Once again, really tight, but it goes on there. So that's cool. So there's some some slight cross compatibility. Mind you, the figure eyes usually come with their own stand, so that's not a big deal. Oh, let's give him back his sword. Gigangueredo. By the way, go watch my Kamen Rider reviews. Please, they need more love. But see, that's okay. So right there, this is a very like hexagonal, however you want to say that, setup. So each one of these joints is keyed to only go a certain way, and you have to take it apart, put it back together. As I was just messing with it, just to move it around, that stuff happens right there. Look. Okay, so that was just, I was proving a point by accident. I was trying to do something else, and then that all started happening. But I guess in theory, that's the best reason to have something like this that has actual just moving joints. Because this is just barely, look, I squeeze one together, another one wants to come apart. So there you go. That's a good enough reason. And that's problematic that just falls out like that. So I think the one thing that slightly lacks is just the idea that you have now leftover bits that you have to find somewhere to put. You have to put it somewhere. Like, it doesn't, like, except for just doing what I had it, you know, like plugging it on like this, there's just no good backup for that. But once again, I said, like, you know, you can use one of the corners. It's just gonna be weird. So the whole thing is square, but they don't do this square. So it is what it is. But guys, I do suggest it. So if you have a lot of flame toys in particular hanging out and you kind of want to give them some better display options, I say go for this. That's what I'm going to be doing. And I'll probably use the claw just for supporting, like for the primes that are having issues but don't need to be flying. And then all of my flyboys, whether it's a jet or a bee, definitely going to be using that crotch peg to help support them and have them flying about. So, and then of course, whenever I decide to do that whole new shelving project for the Flame Toys guys, I'll show that off. So, but go ahead and give me a big old thumbs up, guys. Hit that like or hit the subscribe-ish button if you are new to the channel. We're growing pretty quickly, just crossed over 5,700, so that's pretty awesome. And of course, if you haven't heard of the MS100 contest, go check that out. There'll be a thing hopefully popping up here. It'll be up there regardless, and then of course rules will be posted down below in the description. And of course, Flame Toys kits are allowed in that contest because me and the other judges were just really keen on it. So go check that out. But I'll see you guys on the next review, and remember as always, keep on building.